thoughts on making an impact as an introvert. There's a saying that comes up that I remember. I had a t-shirt that said it when I was a teenager, and it said on it, "It's always the quiet ones." And I feel like there's this quiet confidence that you can have as an introvert. You don't have to be loud and extrovert and in people's faces to change the world and make an impact in the world. When I was building my business, I saw people talking on stages and doing all these big live events, and I thought I had to build my business that way. I had it all on my vision board, the TED Talk, being on stages. And the more I started to build my business and feel a bit more confident with being seen my own way, the more I realized actually that was someone else's version of success, someone else's version of creating an impact. And me personally as an introvert, I feel much more confident through written communication than I do through speaking live or speaking on stages. And I've managed to create a multi-seven-figure business doing it my way. And I really believe that it's more about doing something that feels aligned to you and not trying to be someone else while you're creating your impact and success in the world. Because I'm an introvert and I'm quieter in terms of my personality, but I'm actually an observer. So I observe how other people show up. I observe how successful people impact more people and how they run their businesses. And it's almost like I then am able to take what I like from that and mix it with my own way of doing things, to do things in a way that feel more aligned to me. Because I might not be the loudest person in the room, I get underestimated a lot in business. I think that can happen when you're an introvert, when you're not always the one who needs to have their voice heard in every room that you enter, but you can be quietly confident and quietly impactful and still have a massive impact and really make a huge difference. One of the things that people tend to be surprised by is that I've created a business that has now generated almost $10 million and reached 106 countries across the world with a very tiny audience, completely organically. And everybody, when they find out, they're like, "Natasha, how did you do that as an introvert, as somebody who's not out there speaking on stages all over the world?" I intentionally went out to local networking events, and especially business events all over the UK and even as far as America, getting to know other people in my industry and making connections that could help me expand my impact and my business. And that was a really important part of my growth. That's how even though I have a small audience, I have a very global audience and made connections all over the world through networking in in-person events, but also online in groups that had global audiences too. There's nothing wrong with being an extrovert and being loud and being out there if that is your true personality. But equally, you can have a massive impact in the world being an introvert and doing it your way, because your way will always be the most successful way.